This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News.
A unique display hopes to raise awareness about sexual assault.
Education is a right. Fight, fight, fight.
UND President Mark Kennedy faces backlash ahead of his new job opportunity in Colorado.
Find out how an MSUM track athlete is transitioning to life in America.
Concordia students are getting on their broomsticks and taking flight in a Harry Potter-inspired club. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Shannon Blumgren.
And I'm Tanner Robinson. Minnesota State University Moorhead students are bringing awareness on campus to those who are struggling with sexual assault.
I went to Comstock Memorial Union to see what students are hanging up. The Clothesline Project is just one of many events that are trying to bring awareness and assist in helping victims dealing with sexual assault. They do this by making t-shirts with messages about their own horrific experiences and being a survivor.
Making sure the U is very bright and vibrant, and so that people would look at it and know if they were struggling that there's a person that believes them and knows that they can get through what they're going through right now, especially if they're dealing with sexual assault.
According to RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 1 in 3 students between the ages of 18 and 24 are sexually assaulted while in college.
I think that bringing awareness to causes is extremely important, and making sure that people realize that this is something that happens to women every day. And it is something that, even though we don't like to think about it, happens on our own campus.
Jared Pigeon, the Director of Diversity and Inclusion on campus, talks about how MSUM students are trying to help victims.
We need to find ways in order to successfully channel some of that pain and that emotion, and that might look like many things.
And students are helping students who share similar stories and have a message for those who are struggling to reach out for help.
Know that you're going to get through this, know that you are a bigger person, and know that you're not alone.
This is an annual event on campus, and all of the shirts will be displayed throughout the rest of the month. MSUM students ran to the Comstock Memorial Union to walk a mile in style. The students walked laps around the CMU in high heels to raise awareness surrounding rape, sexual assault, and gender-based violence on campuses, college campuses, for Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. Signs with assaults, stats, and inspirational quotes lined the halls to promote the message of the event. MSUM theater and psychology major Connor Murphy says it's one of his favorite events to attend on campus.
I really enjoy all the different people that kind of are speakers or that we see come to participate, and I love the actual activity of walking around in the mile just to see like how pumped people get and how much support there is, and it's really fun for me.
The Dragon Entertainment Group and Kappa Sigma Fraternity teamed up to put this event together.
Iowa lawmakers are debating whether students should be able to have stun guns on campus. House Republicans support the bill, saying it will help students protect themselves, but Democrats say it may serve as a false sense of security. State Republicans also say the stun guns would decrease sexual assaults on campuses, but Democrats are arguing pepper spray is a better way to protect someone. If the bill is passed by the Iowa Senate, it would then be sent to the governor's desk. The University of North Dakota President Mark Kennedy is the sole finalist to become the new president at the University of Colorado, but the new gig is anything but a done deal.
The students and workers who run this university reject Mark Kennedy.
Just 5 days after the CU Board of Regents made the announcement, hundreds of students from the school's Boulder campus came together to protest Kennedy's appointment. Many students say his voting record during his time as a Minnesota congressman should disqualify him from becoming the university's president, a record that includes a 2006 vote to add an amendment that would have banned gay marriage at the federal level.
When Kennedy was announced as a finalist, of course, I'm going to do my research, and my research just proved to be like really disappointing, really disturbing, especially for like my identity as like a woman, as a person of color, as a member of the LGBTQ+ community.
Kennedy went through several rounds of questioning from regents, alumni, and staff over the last week. During a stop at CU's Colorado Springs campus, he rejected the idea that he hasn't stood up for diversity in the past, saying he's worked hard to give first-generation students a chance to go to college and calling himself a champion of diversity. Members of Colorado's Board of Regents have also been arguing about whether or not they spent enough time vetting Kennedy. A CU spokesman says the board will likely make a decision at the beginning of May.
Concordia College held a tri-college education fair for local students looking for possible careers. Area education students checked out different career opportunities for teaching in a variety of subjects. While many local schools were represented, districts from as far as Arizona and Alaska came to find possible hires. University of Minnesota Crookston junior Jenna Anderson says it was great to meet different professionals and get a taste of what a teaching job would be like.
I just want to meet new employers, figure out how interactions go, because I've never been to a career fair before, so having the opportunity to talk with potential employers as well as just get experience about what they're looking for was super important.
Many school districts also offered pop-up interviews for students at this event. A new study shows over a third of college graduates say the debt is not worth it. The report by Merrill Lynch and AgeWave says 36% of former college students regret the debt, but not college itself. The United States Census Bureau shows college graduates earn around $30,000 more a year than workers with a high school diploma. Experts argue those numbers are worth the college debt. On average, college students graduate with about $28,000 in debt. With presentations ranging from the technological to the psychological, MSUM Dragons packed this year's Student Academic Conference with enough knowledge to fill a library.
But as reporter Ben Reiki found out, the day is about more than just science and poster boards.
So like if you have
for the younger adults, every sport is unique.
Our habitats are going to change.
I've played violin. The most common one was neuroticism.
That's the sound of a semester's worth of writing, researching, and planning at the Andrew B. Conte Student Academic Conference.
I think it's awesome. This is actually my first year of presenting. It's definitely a lot of work, but it's kind of fun to be able to, showcase all that hard work that you've put in.
From making your own Siri.
So what it does, it helps you with daily tasks in your phone.
To figuring out what personality traits make an athlete a winner.
The most common one was neuroticism, which is also the most common personality factor in NFL coaches.
The presentations are as varied as the students who make them.
My research has been on age bias in college students, their perceptions of older adults.
And each one showcases what they're passionate about.
NDVI is something that I've been super interested in this entire year. It's a fascinating measure. You can take a look at greenness, vegetation, and how that's changing over time in a given area without actually having to be there.
With over 250 students all sharing what they've learned in just one day, it's easy to suffer from sensory overload. But halfway across campus at the planetarium, you'll find a presentation set to a different tune. One that combines science with art.
My presentation is about the planetarium show I developed, which explores the music, history, mythology, and astronomy associated with Gustav Holst's The Planets.
A presentation whose scale is matched only by what it means to the person who's presenting it.
I've played violin for about 10 years. I recently started working with the planetarium this year, and this was a way to combine my longtime love of music with my recent work with the planetarium.
The conference gives students of all kinds a chance to show what they know and who they are. With photographer Branson Reeser, Ben Reiki, Campus News.
And Concordia College recently had a research symposium of its own. The Celebration of Student Scholarship, or COS, gives Cobbers a chance to showcase what they've been working on over the last semester. It also lets students connect with graduates and prepare for a career after college. Students say COS helps them gain much-needed recognition for their work.
Today, just to kind of celebrate the presentations that students are giving and the research that students have done, we do have some awards that we give out throughout the day.
This year's COS presented art history professor Susan Lee with the 2019 Research Mentor of the Year Award.
He doesn't have a driver's license yet, but he's been accepted to a well-known university. Pennsylvania native Aiden Roscher has been accepted to Penn State University at the age of 15 years old. Roscher started taking high school classes when he was only 12 years old and will receive his diploma in May. He has received the Provost Award, a merit-based scholarship that will help cover the cost of tuition. A lover of math and science, Rosher will pursue a career in electrical engineering.
For MSUM, student organizations are a big part of student life, and the campus radio station wants them to get involved. KMSC Dragon Radio held an annual recruitment table in the Comstock Memorial Union. Their mission is to get students involved with their station, take advantage of their resources, and help students gain real-life broadcasting experience.
KMSC really helps with most communications fields, especially like broadcasting or like journalism. We're so excited going into this next year, but we are losing a lot of people to graduation and things like that. So it's important for us to keep moving forward in recruiting more DJs.
KMSC will be hosting its annual end-of-the-year meeting on April 30th.
On World Record Store Day, MSUM students tuned into KMSC Dragon Radio, where the needle dropped on some vinyl records from the ages. Throughout the day, KMSC DJs played vinyls of all genres. Musical director Carly DeSanto was on air for 11 hours participating in the National College Radio event Vinylthon. It's a day where radio stations dedicated on-air time to vinyls. DeSanto says it's important to be diverse in your music choices.
We're playing things that other people aren't, and I just think it's important to give an ear to any music that's coming through and not just the same 5 artists that you hear on the popular radio stations.
This was the 4th annual Vinylthon event. The organizers say there are many more to go.
An MSUM graduate is bringing his sweet Minnesota-born sounds across the tri-state area.
Reporter Madison Nelson Gira shows us how he's finally making his musical dreams a reality.
At the Spicy Pie in West Fargo, there's more than the smell of pizza in the air. It wasn't that long ago that Aaron Simmons was walking the campus as a dragon at MSUM. Now, he is a local artist and performer who is plugged in and serenading restaurant goers.
I'm at Spicy Pie in West Fargo. I play here a couple times a month, and it's been probably the place I've played the most.
Last May, he graduated from MSUM with a multimedia journalism degree and works full-time at Flint Media Group. But his passion is music. Simmons has only been playing guitar a few years. Got an opportunity to audition for American Idol.
Started with You by Chris Young, and then I sang Your Man by Josh Turner. And after that, basically implied that I'm close, but I'm not there yet, which I can live with.
He covers many popular songs, but the real rush comes when he writes original songs, like his first single, Minnesota, which tells us about all the things he loves about his home state.
Minnesota. Got lakes and waves, peeps on the beach, a lot of rolling hills and a lot of tall trees.
He attracts fans of all ages and will also take their requests.
I think I can play that one. Got hips like honey.
Holland Kaloff loves one song in particular.
Why do you like a backload?
Really? You like that song? So do I. Aaron sees his future as a bright one because music, for him, will always be a part of his life.
All I want to say is when it's all said and done, I want to say that I gave it my best shot.
With photographer Kylie Meyer, Madison Nelson Gira, Campus News.
Aaron will be recording his first album this summer, and you can find his music on all streaming platforms.
MSU Moorhead's Wellness Center is trying to show that fitness can be fun. The center hosted a wellness fair for faculty, staff, and students. The event brought in both on and off-campus organizations. They were able to promote their services and encourage healthy lifestyles. The fair gave visitors a chance to learn about fitness, see the wellness center, and get a workout.
I didn't know this was going on here today. They got a lot of stuff going on. I didn't realize that going through that thing would make me sweaty.
It's a lot of fun. It makes you feel like you're a kid again.
It does, it is. I've always liked the wellness center. I think it's really nice.
The first 50 people through the door got a bag full of goodies to take home, including a free t-shirt.
Quidditch may only be a sport in the world of Harry Potter, but that doesn't mean that Muggles can't play their own version of the game.
I found out how a group of Concordia College students is bringing the magic of Hogwarts to campus.
Right, set, go!
Students are using broomsticks inside the Olson Forum at Concordia College, but not for sweeping. Instead, they're being used to simulate flying around in the air as they play the game of Quidditch, which is from the Harry Potter book series. Among the members of this club is sophomore Elizabeth Loveland, who plays keeper.
Well, we don't technically have assigned positions, we rotate. I normally play keeper just because I have a bad ankle and it's easier when I'm not running around constantly.
The goal of Quidditch is to throw a ball called a quaffle into one of 3 hoops. The players also have to avoid red balls called bludgers that stun them for 3 seconds. Concordia senior Dylan Harsey says Quidditch matches can get intense.
Yeah, we're about this physical every time, give or take. Especially with the dives and stuff. With each other, we're sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but like with going all out for it, yeah.
It doesn't matter where the camera is, I'm going to take it out.
We play this, we're going for it.
Both Loveland and Harsey say this club is a great way to blend fantasy with physicality.
It's a way that like we can have that like friendship and family like in like a house almost, but like still get to do something where it's not just sitting in a room talking about Harry Potter.
That's the part that really gets me on it, is I get to enjoy my nerd stuff, but I also get to be active and not feel like I'm being active until next morning when I wake up sore.
When it comes to the club, members can agree on one thing. They're all happy they get to bring the magic of Harry Potter to life.
The club meets every Friday night at Concordia's Olson Forum.
And now we turn it over to Alexis Kennedy for a look at this week's sports.
Well, guys, the Bison are back in action today for their annual spring football game. The champs were celebrated once again on their last day of spring football. NDSU will have its ring ceremony and annual spring game today. Players of the 2018 championship team will be honored before the scrimmage. Admission is free and open to the public, and fans who attend will get an autographed poster featuring NDSU's 7 national championship trophies. Many students come to America to get an education, but one German athlete came here to do more than just learn.
Running the 200 and 400 meter relays may not seem easy, but for one MSUM runner, it's a breeze compared to coming to a new country. Tobias Bogle, a junior at MSUM, journeyed here from Germany.
I came here to MSUM to play football. I quit that after a couple of years because I just kept getting injured. I was trying to focus a little bit on academics.
Sports came easy to Bogle, but like any new student, there came challenges.
Just the first half year, trying to get to know people, being all by yourself.
Like it's that principle.
But every professor knows you by first name, and it just you don't really get lost in the shuffle. It makes the transition from being international, coming overseas in a foreign country, makes it a lot easier.
Even though running is more of an individual sport, Bogle is committed to making the whole team better.
You get to work out as a team, but obviously in team sports such as football, soccer, baseball, if one of your teammates isn't performing up to par, that's going to drag the whole team down. In track, it is you against you, basically. It doesn't matter what the people next to you do, if you win your event or not. It's basically you against the time, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. With 1 year left of college, Bogle continues to make strides to better himself. With photographers Jacob Tenson and Nick Napper, Alexis Kennedy, Campus News Sports.
Once Tobias graduates, he plans to follow in his parents' footsteps by going into the medical field. If you've ever driven down 8th Street in Moorhead and looked to your right, you usually see Concordia's football field, but now the stadium has a new facelift. New this year is a $1 million scoreboard update for the Cobbers. The new scoreboard is 50 feet wide and stands 44 feet high from the ground to the top of the Jake Christensen Stadium sign. The scoreboard was made possible through generous donations of 6 donors. The main donor for the new scoreboard was the Scott and Shelley Neal family. The Neals have close ties with the programs as they had 2 sons, Logan and Griffin, play for the Cobbers in the 2000s. The project for the scoreboard got up and going all within a year.
You always need kind of a handful of people to get it off of the ground, and we had that, which was wonderful. We had a nice dedication ceremony over our homecoming weekend with the donors that gave.
The scoreboard is also being used for the first time this spring for the Cobber Twilight and some softball games. Jelly Fam is making its exit out of the Twin Cities. Co-founder of the Jelly Fam brand and Gopher sophomore point guard Isaiah Washington announced his plans to transfer schools. He says he hasn't decided where he will transfer to yet. Washington came to Minnesota as a 4-star recruit, but saw his playing time diminish as a sophomore due to the emergence of Amir Coffey and Gabe Kulsher. He says in a Twitter post, the season took a toll on him mentally, and he started to lose his love for basketball. He averages 4.3 points and 2.8 assists this season. The stresses of finals can get to anybody. Athletes from MSUM are taking time away from the classroom and field to de-stress and get back to some furry fellas.
Everybody is just looking for their perfect home. Thousands of miles away from her own home, MSUM student athlete Madison Page works to give puppy pals a comfortable chance at finding their new family.
These puppies, I tell you.
Originally from California, Paige has spent 3 years volunteering at the For Love of Dog Rescue Shelter, lending a helping hand between classes and softball practice.
I love dogs, and especially like the amount of dogs that like need to be rescued and that deserve great homes. Like, it's so fulfilling, and it's so great to just like get to hang out with these guys and have them put a smile on my face.
Dogs like Pippi, Joe, Iris, and Whitaker all find their way to their shelter through different trails. Some are strays, others are sent from the Humane Society or owners that can't support the animals.
From here, you know, they'll spend some time in the building until they get foster families who kind of just take care of them. You know, they feed them, they love them until they get adopted.
These furry friends could spend days or months in the care of the shelter, however long it takes for them to find that perfect match.
My hopes for every dog that comes through this building is that they find like their forever loving home. Like, I want them to live the entirety of their lives in homes with people that love them and give them the care and attention that they need.
Anyone is allowed to volunteer their time like Paige, and anyone could meet their new best friend. With photographer Damien O'Donnell, Griffin Nelson, Campus News Sports.
For more information on how to adopt or foster a pet, go to forloveofdog.org. Guys, I don't know about you, but those puppies are so cute.
I would have loved to be there.
Thank you, Alexis.
Campus News has now been on Prairie Public Television for 35 years. To celebrate, we are showing some of the most memorable stories from our past.
This year we go back to the election of 2008 when Democratic frontrunners Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton both stopped in Grand Forks on the same night in early April. Reporters Rebecca Hilboina and Nathan Abbott provided team coverage.
The sound of silence didn't last for long here at the Grand Forks Alara Center. More than 18,000 people packed the building, many to get a glimpse of and hear from U.S. presidential hopeful
Barack Obama.
Ufta, what a crowd.
Many in that crowd were college students there to learn what Obama has planned for the issues that matter most to them.
And I don't know about you, but I think it's time we made college affordable for every young person in America. We're going to put in place $4,000 tuition credit every student every year. But young people, you'll have to get something back in return. You're going to have to work in some community service or national service. You're going to have to work in a homeless shelter or a veteran's home or join the Peace Corps. We'll invest in you, you invest in America. Together we can march this country forward.
He wants to help reform the education system and make it better than it is. I mean, it's hard enough to pay bills, so any less money we have to pay, the better.
Our future generation, if they aren't prepared to lead, then we have no future.
With so many college students on the front line, the war in Iraq was a hot topic.
We can end this war in Iraq, win this war in Afghanistan, rebuild our alliances, restore our moral standing by leading the world against the common threats of the 21st century.
We need to do something about it. Something must be done. We can't keep doing what we've been doing and thinking that it's acceptable. We have to make a change, and I think he really represents this idea of change.
Feels like authenticity is there finally, like being an authentic person and having real plans with definite actions and not just saying words.
Overall, Obama's trip to Grand Forks was a success. He won over the crowd with his energy and plan of action. Now we wait for his next contest, the Pennsylvania primaries on April 22nd, to see what's next for this proactive senator. In Grand Forks, Rebecca Hilboina, Campus News. Nathan, over to you.
Thanks, Becca. Well, supporters of Hillary Clinton were a lot harder to find than those of Barack Obama. Trust me, we had our fair share of interviews. But those who did show up, let it be known who they think should be the next president of the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to introduce to you Senator Hillary Clinton.
Nearly 3 hours after Senator Obama spoke to a packed house, it was Senator Hillary Clinton's turn. A plane delay caused Clinton to go on 45 minutes late, but that didn't stop a rowdy crowd of more than 10,000 supporters.
Are you ready to take back the White House and take back this country?
Speaking in a town that's home to more than 13,000 college students, the issue of college tuition rates came as no surprise.
I want to offer 2 years of national service. If you're willing to do it, you can earn up to $10,000 a year that will go right to college. And if you already have debt, if you're willing to do public service, teaching, nursing, the military, law enforcement, we will forgive your debt over time.
Universal health care is an issue Clinton has come under fire for, but one she says is needed.
If you are uninsured or underinsured, I want to open up the Congressional Health Plan. I figure if it's good enough for Congress, it's good enough for America, and we're going to give you that option.
Obama leads Clinton by 143 delegates. However, Clinton supporters think her experience will still earn her the nomination.
I would rather have somebody who's a battle-scarred warrior who has fought before but has always come out on top.
She actually provides what she's going to do, and she has lots of experience as well.
She provides solutions, she's willing to make the changes, and she's just not talking about it. She has actions, and she has plans to put those plans into action.
Hillary Clinton may not have won the caucus or the backing of North Dakota superdelegates, but the feeling at the Alaris Center at the end of this eventful night, the Democrats feel pretty good about who will be representing them in November. Reporting from Grand Forks, Nathan Ahmet, Campus News.
Obama ended up winning the nomination on June 3rd and then went on to beat Republican John McCain to become the 44th President of the United States.
And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with another look at Concordia's Quidditch Club.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.